Hello Basic Beer Review fans, and if it looks like I'm a little bit less pasty than I am normally, then that is because I've been on holiday in Menorca, and I was on an all-inclusive thing, and as so often in all-inclusive dealies, basically the beer that they have on tap is San Miguel, and it was San Miguel at this one as well, which is great. I do like San Miguel, to be honest. This is the San Miguel that I usually drink. This is the stuff you can get in Britain. But while I was there, they had some cans of San Miguel that was brewed over in Spain. So I thought I'd get a couple of cans of that. Now, I know that Simon on Real Ale Craft Beer, shout out to Simon, was going on about how he didn't really like the San Miguel brewed over here. And he said it's very different from the stuff that's brewed in Spain. So I thought, why not bring some home and have a taste test and see what the difference is. Now, obviously, this is brewed in, this is brewed in the UK, so it's brewed and canned in the UK by Carlsberg Marston's, so not the best pedigree there on that one. Whereas this one is only in Spanish. I have no idea. Let's see, what does it say? I don't know, but I very much doubt it's brewed in the UK and exported to Spain. So we're going to assume, even though I can't read Spanish, that this was brewed in Spain. Seems that I bought it in Spain. This one very much is brewed in the UK. So let's have a little taste test of the UK brewed San Miguel and the Spanish brewed San Miguel. Now, first of all, the massive difference that I'm noticing straight away as soon as I got the can is this is 5.4% ABV and this is 5.0% ABV. I don't know whether whether San Miguel used to be 5.4 in the UK. I've been drinking this for a while. I can't remember noticing the ABV, whether there was a change. Probably, there isn't everything. But this one very much says alcohol 5.4% by volume. As I had this, I thought I've got to buy some San Miguel to compare against it, and I went to Home Bargains. They didn't have any in there. I went to Asda, and they just had these pint cans of San Miguel. I didn't want to go anywhere else, so I thought I'll get these. I'll get 4 of these. So I got 4 pint cans of San Miguel. I didn't want to get it in a bottle, because in a bottle might change the taste. Wanted to compare like for like. So here we go. We've got the San Miguel in the can, San Miguel in the bottle. Now the reason that I thought I'd do this is, again, something that Simon mentioned, is it's more bitter. It seems more bitter, the stuff, and the stuff I was drinking over there certainly seemed a lot more bitter than the San Miguel which I remembered. You see, I remember it being well, a little bit tamer, should we say, the stuff that I've bought in the UK. So yeah, let's have a see if there is a noticeable difference when they are compared side by side. So let's crack open the can. So first thing that you notice is the size of the can. I don't know if you can get these actually in this country. I'm not sure if you can get 330ml cans of San Miguel, but as I say, I have my reasons for having such different sizes of can. We're going to do a similar size pour. These glasses are very similar, not quite the same. This one's got a slightly narrower top and a slightly shorter, but they'll be fine for the purposes of this taste test. Let's pour the UK San Miguel first into this one. So we're pouring it, going to 45-degree angle, tilted up by there. So let's have a look at the head we're getting there. So we're getting, so it's very clear, not a lot of bubbles, not much gassiness there. It's got a couple of fingers, 2-finger white head. Let's pour the Spanish stuff, see if there's a difference in colour there. So again, 45-degree pour, straightened up about there. So already, I'm thinking that was a slightly smaller head there. So you're getting a slightly smaller head on the Spanish San Miguel. Moving it around, I don't know if the Spanish one has a slightly different colour to it, slightly darker in the Spanish. I don't know if you can see that there on the camera. You might not be able to see the difference in colour, but I am getting more of a yellow tinge, slightly more amber, this one. This one actually is giving me a fluffier head than this one, which is giving me a slightly, there's more sort of larger bubbles in this head. This one's got slightly smaller bubbles. Looking at it, I don't know if that's purposeful, but yeah, looking, I mean, these are on different things here, but looking through that the Spanish stuff is definitely darker than the UK stuff. So let's get a nose. Let's get a nose on them both and see what the nose is giving us. So I'll move this one away, so I'm not getting anything from that one when I nose this one. Right, so that smells a little bit malty. yeah, it's got a little bit. There's a little bit of cheapness in the smell. I don't know what that is, but it's hard to describe it. It's something that you get with cheap lagers, which I'm getting in the smell there. Yeah, so that's it's your usual kind of grassiness, your usual sort of lemony, a little bit of lemoniness in there, but there is a little something, a little bit of a, I don't know, old kind of cheap bitter kind of smell to it, like you used to get in cheap bitters back in the day. Let's move that one over there, bring the Spanish one over here, and see if we're getting a different smell on the Spanish San Miguel. Oh yeah, very different. That's a completely different beer. It's a lot maltier. There's more syrup in there. There's more full body to it in the smell there. There's a little bit of raisin notes in there. It's almost like when I compared the Birra Moretti to the out-of-date Birra Moretti, how the out-of-date stuff was it more interesting? It was more interesting, had a more, sort of like a wider flavour profile. Like, okay, so let's put them next to each other. So they are so different, they're completely different, which was expected, to be honest. This one has got, I'd say it's very one-dimensional. It just smells, excuse me, of a lager. There's a little bit of grassiness there, a little bit of lemoniness, but it's not very interesting. This one, there's a bit of creaminess as well. A little bit of raisin notes, a little bit of cherry, which is a bit weird. Almost like a Belgian-y kind of smell. It's very different beers. Very different beers indeed. Let's do the taste test now. So first of all, we're going for the UK brewed. Cheers. Go in again. I do like San Miguel. I do like the UK brewed San Miguel. I think it's smooth. It's not gassy. It's not overly carbonated. It's refreshing. It's quite light in flavour. I think it's got a little bit of bitterness there. I don't think there's any off flavours per se. But it is a bit lacking. It's a bit thin, not much of a body there. But a lot of the time when you get these UK brewed lagers that are at this price point, you're not expecting much really. Okay, so there's your UK brewed San Miguel. I'd say it's pleasant. I like it. It's decent. Got a little bit of sweetness there. I think it's quite smooth. It's quite creamy. It's decent. Right, this one's a little bit colder now because I've been holding that one for a while. So we'll go in for the old taste on this one, which is now looking significantly darker than the other one. But maybe it's just because of the way I'm holding it and where I'm holding it. Anyway, let's give this one an old taste. Cheers. Excuse me, I've got a bit of a cough. Let's go again. So that's got a much fuller flavour. In fact, that tastes even better than the stuff I had on the tap and the all-inclusive. A little bit of candy flavour in there. There's a bit of syrup. It's quite malty. There is certainly more of a bitterness on it. It tastes like it's almost bordering on an amber ale. It's a very different beer. I mean, I'm assuming nothing's happened to the can on the trip over it, but that's really not what I was expecting it to be like, really. Try a bit more. There's a bit of a sweetness there on the flavour, and almost like a brown bread kind of taste. I mean, what I'll do, I've got another can of San Miguel. I could try that one just in case something happened to this can, but it's such a different beer to this one. That is, you would not know they're the same beer. In fact, to be honest, you'd be hard pushed to think they were the same style of beer, really. I suppose it's got more of a Vienna lager kind of. I think I've had some Vienna lagers, or things that have called themselves Vienna lagers, which have almost had that kind of sweetness and a bit more of a maltiness to them. That's what this reminds me more of. Yeah, it's really surprising me how different these two beers are. But there is a big difference in colour. This one's darker. And I say the flavour, this is a lot maltier. It's got a little bit of bitterness on it. I say this doesn't taste like the stuff that I had at the all inclusive. But then neither does this. But I am drinking this comparative to this, so you never know. When I was at the place and I was drinking this all the time, it probably just tasted like lager to me. Compared to this tastes a lot more malty, a bit sweeter. It's got more of a breadiness to it. It's got more biscuit in there, and it does taste a bit more like a Vienna lager than this, which tastes more like just like a standard pale lager, like a cheap lager, really. So this does just very much taste like a cheap lager. I say that one tastes like more of a Vienna style sort of amber lager. Which one I prefer? I honestly don't know, to be honest. I really don't. I don't know which one I prefer, actually. I'm finding this one a bit, I don't know, not lagery, really. There's just something to it that I can't quite put my finger on. I might have to crack open the other can just to check that this is what it should taste like. I have got the other can in the fridge, so I might as well crack the other one open and just see whether I get the same vibes from the other can. If I do, then it's highly likely this is what Spanish San Miguel tastes like. So yeah, why not? Get as much of it out of there as I can. This is the first opening a second can. Right, let's go. So I'll pour a second can. Again, looking dark. Looking dark, and then it looks very similar to the first can though, so I'm thinking this is what San Miguel from Spain is like. Let's have a look. Yep, same stuff. So it has more of a maltiness, more of a breadiness, certainly compared to this. There's more going on, it's more interesting. I could drink more of these and feel fine. This one, I imagine it would make me feel a bit dodgy after too many. I think the sweetness is quite sweet. I can't get away from the fact that it is quite sweet, this Spanish San Miguel. And you know, I like a lager with a bit of sweetness to it, but to me this has got a little bit too much sweetness in it. for me. It's got the bitterness, it's got the breadiness, but as I say, I don't know. I hate to say I prefer this one, but that's what this channel's all about, being honest. But this one is a bit lacking. I think all in all I prefer this one, but I couldn't drink too many of them. It's got more of a flavour, it's better quality. It's a better beer, let's face it. It is a better beer. This is completely different. They are two completely different beers. They shouldn't even have the same name. But as I say, you know, it's all about what you want from your beers, really. If you just want it to be a bit plain and standard, then this is your guy right here. If you want it to be a bit more interesting, with a bit of a sweetness and a bit more of a breadiness to it, go for the Spanish stuff. Obviously, go for what you can get, really. But as I say, they are so different that you can't really compare them. So this was very much me comparing UK brewed San Miguel with Spanish brewed San Miguel, which is better. And my verdict is you can't really tell, because you can't really come up to a conclusion, because they are, as I say, there's such different beers that it's very hard to compare. It's a bit like comparing peas to sweet corn. It's like it's what you like at the end of the day. So, but there you go. Hopefully, it's been a bit useful for anybody who's wondering how they compare. They are completely different beers. They shouldn't even have the same name, and that's all there is to it. Anyway, I'm going to finish these off. Still got some more in this can. I'm going to enjoy finishing them off. So, until next time, have a good one.